was dead. There could be no doubt whatsoever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was considered good for any piece of business he chose to put his hand to. Marley was as dead as a doornail. There can be no doubt that Marley was dead, or nothing wonderful can come of the story that I'm going to relate. Scrooge never painted out old Marley's name. There it stood, years afterwards, above the warehouse door. Scrooge and Marley. Sometimes, people new to the business called Scrooge, Scrooge, and sometimes Marley. But he answered to both names. It was all the same to him. It was bitterly cold, and the fog was thick on that Christmas Eve. Scrooge sat busy in his counting house, with his clerk nearby, trying to warm himself at a candle.
Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
What?
I said, Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Humbug.
Christmas a humbug. Surely you don't mean that.
Of course I mean it. Merry Christmas indeed. What reason do you have to be merry? You're certainly poor enough.
Well, what reason do you have to be dismal? You're certainly rich enough.
Away with Christmas. What's Christmas to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. He should.
Uncle.
Nephew, you keep Christmas in your way, let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it.
I mean, leave it alone then. A lot of good it has done you.
Well, there's many things from which I benefited, even if it didn't show a profit, I dare say. Christmas among the rest. I'm sure I've always thought of Christmas as a good time, a kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time of year. The only time of year when men and women seem of one consent to open up their shut-up hearts freely and to really think of each other as fellow passengers to the grave. And that's why, though Christmas has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good and will continue to do me good. And I say, God bless it.
Another sound out of you, Bob Cratchit. You'll keep your Christmas belligerent in position. As for you, nephew, seems to me you'd run for Parliament. You certainly talk enough nonsense.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come and dine with us tomorrow.
Good afternoon.
I want nothing of you, I ask nothing of you. Why can't we just be friends?
Good afternoon.
Well, I'm sorry to find you so resolute. We've never had a quarrel, you and I. But I came all this way to give you season's greetings, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. So, Merry Christmas.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Humbug.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Marley's dead. In fact, he died 7 years ago this very night.
Oh, I am quite sorry to hear it, sir. But I am certain that his generosity is represented by his surviving partner.
Yes.
At this festive time of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable for us to make some slight provision for the poor who suffer greatly at this time. Many thousands are in want of common comforts.
Are there no prisons? Did they disappear?
Oh, no, sir. There are still plenty of prisons.
And the workhouses for the poor? Still in full operation, I assume.
They are. Still, I wish I could say they were not.
Well, I was afraid from what you said that something had caused them to stop on their usual course.
A few of us are trying to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time of year because it is a time when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
Oh, you wish to remain anonymous.
I wish to be left alone. I don't make merry myself at Christmas. I can't afford to keep a bunch of idle people merry. I'm tax enough for the institutions I've mentioned. They cost enough. Those who are badly off must go there.
But many can't go there, and many would rather die.
Then they'd better do so and decrease their surplus population.
Sir!
I have too much of my own business to interfere with other people's. Mine occupies me constantly. I'll thank you to lead me to it. Good afternoon.
It's evening, sir.
Is it?
Christmas evening, sir.
And I suppose you'll have to have the whole day off tomorrow.
I mean, if it's quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient and it's not fair. If I were to deduct half a crown from your salary for it, you think yourself ill-used, I'll be bound. Yet you don't think me ill-used for paying a day's wage for a day of no work?
It's only once a year, sir.
Fine excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. Still, you must have the whole day. See that you're here all the earlier the next morning.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas, sir.
Humbug.
The hour of shutting up the counting house arrived. Scrooge went home to bed. Now, it is a fact that there was nothing at all particular about the knocker on the door of his house, except that it was very large. And yet Scrooge, having his key in the lock of the door, sought in the knocker, not a knocker, but Marley's face. As he stared at this, it was a knocker again. He said,
Yeah. Humbug.
up Scrooge went, not caring a button for its being very dark. Darkness is cheap, and Scrooge liked it. He closed the door and locked himself in. Double locked himself in, which was not his custom. Thus, secured against surprise, sat down before a very low fire to take his gruel.
Humbug. It's a humbug still. I won't believe it. What do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
All right. Who are you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
You are fettered. Tell me why.
I wear the chains I forged in life. I made them link by link, yard by yard, more them of my own free will. Is the pattern strange to you? Or would you know the strength and length of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was as long and heavy as this 7 Christmas Eves ago. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain.
Jacob, old friend, please speak comfort to me.
I have none to give. I have little time. I cannot rest. I cannot linger anywhere, for my spirit never walked beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing hull.
But you are always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business? Humankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of our trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of our business. Hear me. My time is nearly done.
I will, Jacob. But please, go easy on me.
I'm here to warn you, Ebenezer, that you have yet a chance of escaping my fates. A chance I have procured for you, Ebenezer.
You always were a good friend. Thank you.
You will be visited by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance of which you mentioned?
It is.
Oh, well then I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the earliest tomorrow, when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I have them all at once, Jacob, and get it over with?
Look to see me no more, and for your sake, take heed of what has passed between us.
Sleep. That's what I need. This'll all be better in the morning.
And so Scrooge lay in his bed and thought and thought and thought it over, but could make nothing of it. The more he thought, the more perplexed he was, and the more he endeavored not to think, the more he thought.
Quarter past. Half past. A quarter to it. Ha! The hour itself and nothing else.
Ebenezer Scrooge!
Are you the spirit of whose coming I was foretold?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the spirit of Christmas past.
What brings you here?
Your welfare, of course.
Can't think of anything more conducive to my welfare than a night of uninterrupted sleep.
Your reformation, then. Take heed, rise, and walk with me.
Good heavens, I was bred in this place. I was a boy here.
Do you remember the way, Ebenezer?
Remember, I can walk it blindfolded.
Strange that you've forgotten it for so many years.
It's Christmas time. All the children are off home now.
The school is not quite deserted. A solitary child, neglected by his friends, is left there still. Yes, poor boy.
Dear, dear brother. Fran, you've flown. I've come to bring you home, dear brother. Home, Fran? Yes, home for good and all. Father has arranged an apprenticeship for you. You'll never have to spend another moment in this dreadful school. But first, we'll be together all Christmas long and have the merriest time in the world.
Your sister died a young woman, but she did have a child, as I recall.
Yes, a son.
Your nephew, Fred, the only family you have left.
Yes, that is true.
Come along, Ebenezer. It is time for another Christmas.
Yo-ho there! No more work tonight, my boys. It's Christmas Eve. Clear all this nonsense away. Life is too short for all work and no play. I say it's time for a party.
Yes.
Woo!
Right. Huzzah! Huzzah!
It's all fuzzy, but it's bunches under.
It's such a small thing to make these silly people feel so much joy and gratitude.
Small thing?
Is it not? After all, what did this Fezziwig do? Spent a few pounds on a party. Does he deserve such praise as this?
It isn't that, Spirit. Why, old Fezziwig had the power to make us happy, to make our service light or burdensome. 1,000 such little things add up, until the happiness he gives is as great as if it cost a fortune. And,
Yes?
it's nothing.
Something, I think.
Just I'd like to have a word with my clerk just now, that's all. What's this?
Listen.
I saw a friend of yours this afternoon.
Really? Who was it?
Take a guess.
Oh, surely you don't mean old Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah, the very same. I passed by his office window the other day. His partner, Jacob Marley, lies upon the point of death, I do hear. And there he sat, old Scrooge, all alone. Quite alone in this world, I do believe.
Oh, miserable wretch.
Merry Christmas.
Spirit, take me away from here.
I told you, these are the shadows of things that have been, that they are what they are. Do not blame me.
Please, I beg you, Spirit, take me away from here. I can bear no more. No more.
Scrooge! Ebenezer Scrooge! Come here, man. I am the ghost of Christmas present. You have never seen the likes of me before, eh?
Yeah, never.
Take hold of my robe, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Where, pray tell, are we going?
You shall soon see.
To sleep now, all of you. Christmas tomorrow. How did a little tiny Tim behave?
As good as gold and better. He told me, coming home, that he hoped the people in church saw him because he was a cripple, and it might remind them upon Christmas Day who made the lame to walk and the blind to see.
He's a good boy.
My dear, to Mr. Scrooge, I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast indeed. I wish I had him here. I give him a piece of my mind to feast upon and hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, Christmas Eve.
It should be Christmas Eve, I'm sure, when one drinks to the health of such an odious, dingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do, poor dear.
Well, I only know one thing on Christmas, that one must be charitable.
I'll drink to his health for your sake, and the day's, but not for his. A long life to him, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
If he cannot be, we must be for him. A song is what's needed. Tim!
Shush! I've just gotten him down to sleep, and he needs all the rest he can get.
If he's asleep on Christmas Eve, I'd be much mistaken. Tim! He must sing, dear. It may be the only thing to make him better. Tim!
Yes, Father?
Are you awake?
Just a little.
A song then. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree.
I've seen enough.
How long
Tiny Tim, will he live?
He is very ill. Even a song cannot keep him whole through a cold winter.
But you haven't told me.
If he is likely to die, he had better do it and decrease the surplus population. Christmas present must leave at midnight. It is near that now.
Is this the last spirit that is to come to me?
These are not spirits. They're real. Hunger, ignorance. They are not spirits passing dreams. They are real. They walk your streets. They look to you for comfort, and you deny them.
Have they no resource, no refuge?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? The clock strikes 12.
Am I in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come? And you are here to show me the shadows of things that have not happened, but will happen in the future. Oh, Spirit, I fear you more than any specter I've seen tonight. Will you not speak to me? Very well then, lead on. The night is passing fast, and time it is precious to me. Lead on then.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
Why, what was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die.
Who knows?
Well, it's likely to be a cheap funeral. Suppose we make up a party and volunteer.
I don't mind going if the lunch is provided, but I must be fed for all the trouble it's worth.
Have these people no sense of decency or decorum? What's this? Why am I seeing this?
What do you call this? Bed curtains. You don't mean you say you're jumping down rings and all with him in line there?
And why not? You wasn't apt to catch his cold without him, I dare say.
I hope you didn't die of anything catching, eh?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I wasn't so fond of his company that I'd loiter about if he did. Ah, you may look through that shirt till your eyes ache, but you won't find a hole in it nor a threadbare place. It's the best he had, and a fine one too. They'd have wasted it if it hadn't been for me.
What do you call wasting it?
Why, putting it on him to be buried in, to be sure.
All right. £4, 6 shilling, and 2 pence, and not a penny more if I were to be boiled for it.
And this is how it ends. He scared everyone away from him when he was alive, just to profit us when he was dead.
Spirit, this is a fearful place, but surely there is someone who feels some emotion caused by this man's death. Please show that person to me.
This color hurts my eyes. There, better now. I won't show weak eyes to your father when he comes home, not for the world. It must be near his time now.
Past it, rather, but I think he's walked a little slower the past few nights.
Yes, I've known him to walk with Tiny Tim upon his shoulder. Very fast indeed. He was very light to carry, and his father loved him so. There was no trouble at all. Is that your father now?
Father! Let me see.
I went by there today. It's why I'm late. I wish you could have been there. It would have done you good to see how green it is. I promised him I would walk by there every Sunday to visit him, you see. But guess whom I saw today? Fred Hollowell, Mr. Scrooge's nephew. He asked after me and said he was heartily sorry and to give his respects to my good wife. How he ever knew that, I don't know.
You what, my dear?
Why, that you're a good wife. And he pledged to be of any service he could to us. He even gave me his card and told me to call on him at home. But it's not for the sake of anything he might be able to do for us, as so much for his kind way that I'm thankful for. Oh, and Martha, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he got you a position.
Then you'll be meeting some fine young gentleman and setting up house for yourself.
Mother.
Well, however and whenever we're parted from one another, I'm sure none of us will ever forget poor Tiny Tim, shall we?
Of course not.
Spirit, the time of our departure is at hand. I know it, but I don't know how. Tell me, the man, the one who is spoken of, the one who died. Tell me who he is. Now, before I draw near to that stone to which you point, answer me one thing. Are these the shadows of things that will be, or are they the shadows of things that may be only? No, no, it can't be. Say it isn't so, Spirit. Say it isn't so. Oh, Spirit, I beg you, I'm not the man that I used to be. Why show me this if I'm past all hope? I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to live it throughout the year. I will remember the lessons of the past. I will live in the present. I will live toward the future. The spirits of all three will strive within me. I will not forget the lessons that they teach. Oh, tell me that I'm not too late. What's this? Curtains. Curtains. They're here. And they're real. They're not sold. They're here. I am here. The shadows of things to come may be dispelled. They will be dispelled. I know it. Oh, heaven be praised. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all the world. Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather and merry as a schoolboy again. Oh, Miss, what's today?
Eh?
What day is it, my fine lass?
July? Why, it's Christmas, Dot.
It's Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. They can do anything they want. Of course they can. Do you know the poulterer at the corner?
Why, I should hope I did.
Remarkable girl. Do you know that they sold the prize turkey that was hanging there?
The one as big as mine?
A delightful girl, remarkable girl. Yes, my fine lass, the one as big as you.
Is Tiny there now?
It is? Why, you must go buy it. Yes, go buy it now.
Police!
Oh, no, really, I mean it. Go buy it and tell them to bring it around. I'll give them directions where to send it. You come back with a man, I'll give you a shilling for it. Come back with him in less than 5 minutes, I'll give you half a crown. Ho, ho, ooh, I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's. He won't know who sent it, I won't tell him. That thing is twice the size of Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim, he will live, on my soul he will live. Oh, heaven be praised. They've done it all in one night. The lessons of the past, present, and future shall strive within me. I'll not shut out the lessons that they teach. Oh, heaven be praised. Oh, Merry Christmas to all the world, and a Happy New Year.
Would you believe it if I told you that Scrooge went to church that day? He did. And he walked about the streets and talked to passers-by and patted children on the head as they passed, and questioned beggars and looked down into the kitchens of houses and up to the windows, and found that everything could yield him pleasure. He had never dreamed that any walk, or that anything at all, could give him so much happiness. In the afternoon, he turned his steps toward his nephew's house.
Hello, Fred.
Uncle.
Yes, the very same. It is I, your Uncle Scrooge. I'm sorry about the things I said about Christmas yesterday, and I'm sorry about the poor reception I gave you, of which you were so undeserving. I see the image of my sister in your face. She loved you, you know, and I her.
I know it, Uncle Scrooge. She always wished until her dying day that we should be close.
And so we are, and so we shall be, and so we shall be.
He was early at the office the next morning. If he could only get there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming late. The clock struck 9. No Bob. A quarter past. No Bob. Bob was full 18 and a half minutes behind his time.
Cratchit, you are late, sir.
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by coming in here at this time of the day?
I am very sorry, sir. I am very behind my time.
You are. Step this way, if you will, Cratchit.
I am very sorry, sir. I was making rather merry yesterday with my family. It won't happen again.
No, I'll tell you what, my friend. I'll not stand for this sort of thing any longer. And therefore, I am going to double your salary. That's right, Bob Cratchit. I'm going to double your salary. Ha ha! A Merry Christmas, Bob. A merrier Christmas than I've given you for many a year. And I'm going to assist your family in any way I can. And as for Tiny Tim, he will walk again. I know it. I've no need to say anything. Come. Let's discuss the particulars by a roaring fire before you so much as dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he became a second father. He was as good a man, as good a master, and as good a friend as the good old city knew. And ever afterward, it was always said of Ebenezer Scrooge that he knew how to keep Christmas and keep it well, if any man life possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of us and of all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us, everyone.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a